Alright then, shall we begin? Hi everybody! It's Rachel, aka Tea and Teal. I've already actually filmed this video once yesterday, but my family were in the house, so I was super quiet and it was super low energy and it just wasn't in keeping with my vibes, if you know what I mean, so I decided to film it again. So first of all, I just wanted to start off by saying a humongous, gargantuan thank you to everybody who watched, liked, commented on my last video, and an extra special thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. It's been absolutely awesome. You guys certainly offer a very warm welcome package. Special thanks as well to Libacious for featuring me in her Wine and Dollies. I think the majority of my through fare onto this channel was thanks to you mentioning me, and you said such lovely things. It really made my day. Thank you so much for that. It's been awesome. 10 out of 10. You guys are all amazing. That's the first thing out the way. So, welcome back to another rambly doll video, this time featuring my washing, and also, of course, featuring lovely Eydís. The majority of people who left comments were asking to hear more about her and her story, so I thought that's what I would do in this video. So, as anybody, I'm sure, who's ever decided to create a character or create a story, everything I'm about to say is subject to change, it's all fluid. These are just my first ideas about her and her character. I basically, when I ordered her in February, I decided that I wanted to create a character to go with my doll, and then all this other stuff about potentially writing a book and having a story has sprouted from there. So that's how the BJD hobby for me already has sprouted loads of creativity, so that's awesome. So I'm just going to get on with it and tell you all about our little Eydís here. So, Eydís was born into a very wealthy family. I'm still working out how much status I want them to have, but they are very high up, you know, they're within very wealthy and noble social circles. Like I said, I'm not sure how high up in the chain I want her family to be, but certainly it matters who she's going to marry, and, you know, it's important for them to have a son to carry on their name. So, Eydís is born. She is their first child, she's their first pregnancy as well. So the parents get pregnant, Eydís is born, everybody is super pleased because she's the first child. Nobody cares that she's a girl because, you know, they've got plenty of opportunity to make more babies, if you know what I'm saying. So she's born, all the midwives and everybody involved are absolutely amazed at how easy and simple her birth is. She literally, you know, walks out of there. There are no complications whatsoever, so the parents are thrilled. She's healthy and happy, the parents are healthy and happy, everything is a-okay. But of course, nothing like that lasts forever. Her parents want a boy, like I said, so they continue to procreate, shall we say, and this is where the parents' luck runs out. They have a huge series of miscarriages and stillborns and just basically no luck in creating a baby, let alone a boy baby. So that happens, and that obviously puts a huge strain on the parents. They're, you know, not in a good place because this is all going very badly for them. Eventually, they get pregnant and the mother carries the baby to full term and she gives birth to a beautiful baby boy. The only problem is the boy that she has given birth to is very sick and the birth is very complicated, which in turn makes her mum very unwell as well. So everything really starts to go downhill from here. So you've got a sickly baby and a sickly mother now, and essentially neither of them last very long. I'm thinking maybe between a week and a month they survive after the birth, and then both the newly born child and the mother pass away. I'm imagining this event to happen when Eydís is about 7 years old. So that happens and all of a sudden it is just Eydís and her father. That's obviously a huge event to happen in anybody's life, particularly a young child. At the moment I'm envisioning her father as a really nice guy. He just decides, we've had this awful thing happen to us, but it's okay because I've got Eydís, I've got this beautiful little girl, and I am going to put all my love and attention into her. Like, he doesn't even care that he hasn't got a male heir anymore. He just is so happy that Eydís is healthy, and hopefully that's the end of the family's bad luck. So he completely spoils Eydís. So she's already in this very wealthy family. She already has pretty much everything she wants, and after the death of her mum and her brother, that just kind of increases. Her dad just will throw anything she wants at her. Anything she wants, she gets. She becomes very spoiled, very bratty. She becomes a very good manipulator. If you can imagine the very typical spoil only child. You gotta right here. You gotta. So she is obviously very deeply affected by the death of her mum and her brother, and the way she copes with this loss is by a huge rebellious streak. Nobody can tell Eydís what to do. She is the master of her own universe. If she does not want to do it, she will not do it. It doesn't matter if it's her dad telling her to do something, or the maids, the nanny, the teachers that are involved in her life. She doesn't care about figures of authority. She is her own figure of authority. And that's, you know, how she lives her life. And she's still very young at this point. So she, as you can imagine, becomes quite a handful. And one of her absolute favourite things to do is to go out into the outside and explore. So if you can imagine, she's from a wealthy family, she's got a lot of land to explore and land beyond her land to explore. She's still quite young and her dad is obviously trying to keep a bit of a leash on her, but she is just a law unto herself. She will go wherever she wants. So she loves exploring. She loves exploring particularly outside. And when she has surveyed all of their own property, once she's explored all of their land, she starts exploring outside of their land, obviously without her father knowing. So now I'm imagining she's about 10 years old. And what happens then is she goes off on one of her usual haunts. She loves wearing very pretty clothing, so there's no problem there in terms of her rebellion, but it just means anything that she's wearing, she will go out exploring in. She doesn't give a crap. She will rip it. She will get it muddy. She wants to go where she wants to go, and she's going there. So when she's 10, she goes out on a usual exploring haunt, and she essentially stumbles upon a small community of fairies. So as you can imagine, this is every small child's dream. So she finds this group of fairies, and then this is where some of the details in her story get a bit hazy for me. I'm still trying to work this out. But at the moment, what I'm imagining is that Eydís spends about 3 days living amongst this little group of fairies, and they look after her well. They teach her a lot about fairy magic and their customs and things like that. And what happens, basically, if you know anything about fairy folklore, one of the basic principles is that quite often it's only children that can see fairies, because when you become an adult, your sort of eyes become blinded to the magical realms of the world. So that's why she is able to find them. Also, in typical old sort of British fairy folklore, fairies and elves and all the rest of those type of creatures can be very mischievous. They can be very persistent, and if you cross them, they will happily make the rest of your life hell. They will drive you out of where you're living. They'll make all of your crops fail. Don't think about fairies as these lovely, ooh, nicey creatures, because they're not. They will happily destroy your life if you cross them. So anyway, she spends 3 days living amongst these fairies. Her dad is obviously beside himself with worry. And when she leaves the fairy community, I'm still, again, a bit hazy about how many fairies are going to go with her, but I'm thinking between 1 and 3 fairies actually decide to leave the community and go and live with Eydís. So she is 10 years old, and essentially what she's done at this point, during her 3 days living with the fairies, she has made a pact with them. And I am unsure what the fairies want from Eydís at this point. I don't know what they get out of this bargain. I'm still sort of working that through. But what Eydís gets out of this bargain is she learns recipes to create fairy dusts and powders and potions. And also the fairies do have magical powers. And as nobody else apart from Eydís can see them, it will essentially appear to other people that she has magical powers, because she's now got this small, a couple of fairies are following her around all the time. They have magic. No one else can see them. As far as anyone else is concerned, Eydís has magical powers. So the angle I want to get with this story really is that she makes this pact with the fairies when she's very young and she doesn't quite understand the implications of signing your life away to these people that, you know, they know where she is all the time. They know where she lives and what she does. They're going to follow her around for the rest of her life. So that's the kind of dynamic I'm going for with this story. People always warn you, don't make a pact with the devil, but they never say anything about making a pact with fairies. So when she comes back from living with the fairies, you know, she returns home to her father, and as you can imagine, this rebellious streak that she's got already in this spoilt, you know, entitled, greater than thou attitude is just increased by tenfold because she essentially has magic powers now. So who's gonna say no? Who's gonna say no to her? I'm not. I ain't saying no. She can get whatever she wants. I do not want to risk it. Like I said, I don't know at the moment what powers these fairies have. I don't know what the magic dust is going to do. I don't know what the potions are going to do, but I know that she has this power, she has this knowledge, and it will be with her. They will be with her for the rest of her life. So I want to create some drama and plot and happenings all around that idea. So yeah, that's essentially it. So as you can tell, it's still very rough. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about his story at the moment, but I'm hoping that in time that'll all reveal itself to me. But yes, that's Eydis's story. She's a very spoiled, well-to-do child that gets magic powers and creates havoc for herself. So yeah, if anybody has, you know, any comments or ideas or anything, please comment down below, share them with me. I've loved talking to you guys and responding to everybody's comments. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this and comment and like and subscribe maybe. Right, well, thanks very much guys. I will chat to you soon. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, week, month, year. See you soon. Bye.